You want to watch a movie about a sad old man starring a sad old man that's written, directed, and edited by that sad old man and about his nihilism and desire to kill a bunch of old men? Last night I watched Outrage Coda, a 2017 Yakuza movie directed by Takeshi Kitano, and 4 stars. First, about that sad old man. I love Takeshi Kitano. He's my favorite director. I originally became a fan of his after watching Hanabi, where I was expecting a nice little 90s crime movie and instead became impossibly sad. I fell in love with him because of the movies during the first phase of his career, all of which except Violent Cop and Zatoichi were scored by Joe Hisaishi of Studio Ghibli fame. And for me, during that phase, he's kind of a mixture of Fellini, Peckinpah, and Adam Sandler, all of whom I adore. Like Federico Fellini, he has the focus on very small, macabre stories and wistful, beautiful music. Also like Fellini, his movies feel like the collection of little independent, unrelated tales until, like a magic trick, they reveal the true reason they're together. Kitano famously edits all his movies since the first 2, and a key part of that genius for me is both the individual scene execution of his editing, as well as the structural editing of what content he chooses to show overall. And the music of this period, just heart-wrenchingly gorgeous. Like Peckinpah, that period is defined also by an aching combination of beauty and misery, of depression and romanticism. His movies are, at the same time, among the most hopeful and pessimistic things that you'll ever watch. Hanabi is both a knowing walk towards death for a character, but it's also about him saving his friend's life and making his wife's final days the best he can. And like Sandler, it's that quote from The Sopranos, depression is rage turned inward. As in classic Adam Sandler movies, a character's inability to express themselves and find connection in the world is often marked by violence and self-destructiveness. Like Sandler, Kitano also started as a comedian, and like Sandler, his movies can depict this sort of communicative frustration with the humor dialed up, like in The Waterboy Kid's Return, or a sadness, like in Punch Drunk Love and A Scene at the Sea. Then Kitano moved into a surrealist phase, which I loved and will be the subject of another video, and then finally he went back into Yakuza movies with the Outrage trilogy, but the music's gone, both literally and figuratively. The movies are just more nihilist and angry rather than nihilist and romantic. The ones they compare the most to from his early period is the movie Brother, which is his only movie set in America. And let me tell you, Kitano has a very dim view of America. Brother would be a depressing movie by itself, but taken in context with the rest of his early Yakuza movies, it's impossibly lonely. Brother is about a Yakuza gangster coming to America and taking over parts of Los Angeles, but there's zero brotherhood. He just kind of ends up living in an empty base. Contrast this with Sonatine, where the movie is about connection among gangsters and a dying clan, and it's just such a dim view of America. Like in Goodfellas and in his other gangster movies in the 90s, there's an extreme amount of brutality, but part of the appeal and romanticism of it is the brotherhood and poetry and forming connections. And that's just non-existent in Brother, and it's even more non-existent in the Outrage trilogy, especially Outrage Coda. They're just old guys callously killing the young and all codes being subsumed under the desire for money and power. There's no one chopping off their little pinky because of honor. It's just money, and an older generation refusing to let go, no connection among the brutality, just brutality. So I think it's fascinating, and I think they're entertaining and worthwhile, and I hope the man keeps making movies, but they're grim. They're very grim. Yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, please like and follow, and thanks for watching.